Ah, I did want to smudge the space so that we can have our nice saginess coming through. And I have, let me get some sage.
I'm actually going to run and get my sage spray while we're waiting.
Yeah, go get your sage spray. Get any crystals that you might like to have with you. Get comfortable. Get relaxed. I left my feather downstairs. Okay. Father Sky, Mother Earth, to the north, to the east, to the south, and to the west, in all directions of time and space, please cleanse and clear my aura. Let me be a pure, clear channel of divine light, love, and energy. Please remove from me any energies that are not mine and restore to me any energies I may have left behind. Please bless and purify this space and allow us to lift our vibrations high to connect with the angelic ones, the ascended masters, and all beings of a high vibration. A little Palo Santo stick.
Love that smell.
Oh my God, I know, right? It's so good.
Like I'm in love with it.
I know, right? Isn't it like intoxicating? You just want to like breathe it in all the time.
It was funny over the summer. Our neighbors, they're getting their house a lot of renovations, and they were at the part where they're getting the rooms painted, and it was really overwhelming. My neighbor and I'm like, have you ever tried Palo Santo? She took
Oh,
some, and she said it actually helped.
really?
Yeah, it
Oh,
helped them.
it smells so good. For me, it's just like a big, beautiful, like net of love that just wraps around when I use this. I love it. Oh, I'm getting too hot again. I get hot every time I do this energy work. All right, I'm going to stop. I don't see anybody else out there in the waiting room. So I guess we can begin. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Awakening with the Angels. I'm Rita, as you know. And I want to thank you for spending this time because what we're going to talk about tonight is power, and it's divine power. It's power that's coming into us that we've had all along, but becoming more aware of it, getting ready to use it, getting ready to lean harder into it for support for this transformational period that we're going through. There's just so much energy around change this year, loss, grief, overcoming our attachments, releasing what doesn't serve, and also releasing things that we've become so accustomed to or so used to that provide comfort, that provide stability, that provide a recognition of something familiar. So many things have come to the point where they have to be broken apart in order for the new to emerge. And it can be painful and it can be difficult, but this is what they've been preparing us for all along. This year is emblematic of the kinds of shifts and changes that we have been training for as spiritual beings all along. It's coming to a new point now where there is a moment in time for us to begin the process of really imagining what we want the future to look like. And it requires courage, and it requires dedication, and it requires energy and focus and attention, but it also requires an ability to relax, to be present, to allow that higher part of ourself to take over. And so it's difficult a lot of times if you're a control freak or you want to keep things going the way you want them to go, to be able to take your hands off the wheel and then be activated in a way that allows you to be as effective as possible in this role that we're playing here as awakened spiritual beings. We're here to usher in a new consciousness. It's part of who we are. It was in our DNA and it was in our program and our pattern before we were born into this lifetime. A lot of us have traveled together on this path many, many lifetimes, and we've known each other. And you know that, and I know that. So we don't have to belabor the point. We don't have to become distracted by the stories anymore. We don't need to go deeper into really trying to understand, but rather just be. So a lot of the work that we have been doing in awakening has been to remember things that we have forgotten, or to clear away the clutter so that we can see the true divine nature that is within. And the process of all of that work requires, extra energy, time, practicing things like manifesting your manifestation powers, practicing your ability to heal, practicing your ability to shift your own vibration. So all along our life paths, we have been called to this moment. We have been called to a higher purpose, and it is because of that calling that we find ourselves gathered here tonight. The reason that this has continued each month, even though I may sometimes feel lazy and don't want to do it, is because it's important, and it's recalling our true divine nature so that we can step into that power and use it, because the purpose of our power is to use it, not to just be aware of it or to read about it or to try to intellectually understand it, but to actually physically and spiritually use it. So the instructions from our higher guides tonight is all about recognizing and stepping into our divine power. We work with crystalline energies. We work with ascended master energies tonight. We are work with the angelic ones. But we're also focusing our attention on our bodies and the physicality of the changes that we're undertaking here tonight. I'm just checking to make sure there aren't any other participants waiting. Okay, I think we're good. It's funny, I thought there's actually quite a few people who I don't see out here who sent in donations. So I'm like, where are they? I don't see them. I hope they come in. I hope I don't zone completely and forget to check that. But so basically that was just channeled. What was just, they're wanting to talk. So let me just do that, okay? We've created sacred space here tonight for each of you to hold your presence in a new reflection, to reflect back to yourself the light that is true, that is within, to see it within your own face, to recognize it as part of your divine heritage, inheritance. It's part of your bones, your DNA. So without any further delay, we can move through the process as we usually do, calling in our angels. But there will definitely be and are happening now attunements to a higher birthright, a higher birthright, connecting with that higher birthright, connecting into our birth here on the planet, birthing back to when we first came in to physical life here. So there's work that's being done to take us back through our own creation, the manifestation of our own physical form, the feeling of actually being a thought or an idea or a concept or a non-physical entity, and then actually finding and connecting with the physical being that we are here today. So there's work that is being done on the other side to usher us back through, almost like a birthing canal kind of an experience, coming back again through the formation of the body into physical nature, and recognizing and seeing how we flow from one dimension into the next, and how once we are in this dimension, we are accessing and able to access multiple dimensions from this physical realm. So all things are possible. All things are possible to those who believe. And as you foresee, so it shall be. As you foresee, so it shall be. It's becoming natural now for you to see yourselves evolving and to accept that you have power, and to know that you are not hopeless and helpless, but that you are extremely powerful, and when combined together are an unstoppable force for good. There has been hopelessness and there's now hope. So we're transferring now from a place of anxiousness, hopelessness, fear, anxiety into hopefulness, excitement, and a passion to serve. The serving is coming in next. Okay, all right, let me get a drink real quick. Okay, so let's begin by doing our invocation. And I guess everybody is muted. If you're not muted, I'm going to ask you to just mute yourself so that we can hear clearly what's coming through and without any distraction. Okay, so we're going to start by creating space and calling in the angels as we always do. So just relax, relax your body, take a nice deep breath. Bring your energy into alignment with that core of energy and light that runs through us. Come back into alignment with the light being that we are. Just kind of relax for a minute and allow your imagination to take you inside your body now. Deep breath. Inside the body, if you can, please begin to notice, visualize, and feel your own true divine form. It is light, it is energy, it is brilliant, and it's beautiful. That's it. Now recognize also the physical form. Feel your body as it sits or lays down or whatever position you're in. Feel that physical form. Feel the weight of it, the weight of the body. Feel how gravity, really basically holds us to the earth. The earth herself attracts and holds us to her bosom, to her breast, to her face. She is like our mother who cradles us in her arms. Our physical body is her child. We are children of Gaia, children of Mother Earth. So let your physical body now just receive that love and appreciation for all the times it has held us up and served us, for all of the beautiful and wonderful ways that it allows us to experience life in the physical realm. Just take a moment now to appreciate this physical body that we have. And by really allowing yourself to feel the weight of your body as it rests, you're giving in to that pleasurable feeling of the physicality, of the senses, noticing and appreciating the breath. The pulse of the blood, your heartbeat. Let every aspect of you now just come into alignment. That beautiful, eternal, golden form inside, radiating inside the lantern of this beautiful physical form. It is like that. They want you to see yourself almost like a lantern with a light lit within. The body is the lantern, the physical apparatus by which you can move and have meaning and purpose here. The way that you give voice to your thoughts, the way your prayers float up through the heavens, the way your intentions twist and wind through the universe, tapping, touching, and finding all other supportive mechanisms, information, and resources. See yourself now almost as a tree. They're giving me this feeling now of a tree that has that, outer bark, that's the body again, and the inner workings of the tree. There's channels within the tree that move nutrients and energy. It goes down deep, deep into the earth with roots. And it stretches up towards the heavens and it expands and grows and it flowers and it produces fruit. That's right. Each one of us is like one of these beings. We are trees. We are beings of the earth and beings of the heavens. And you know as well as I do that when you send an intention out, it is like a branch or a root. It reaches down or out or up or over. It finds the light, right? It finds the source. It finds what it needs. We are exactly like that. Just as a tree will bend towards the light and reach with its roots through the easiest channels towards the water source, we do the same thing. Our intentions, our desires, our goals and dreams, our wishes, our needs are like the tree reaching for the source, for the light, for the nutrients. We reach out and we find it. We don't come up empty ever, never. That totally is impossible because we live in an abundant universe that continues to feed us everything that we need constantly. There is no such thing as lack. It's impossible. There is only abundance. There is only fulfillment. There is only joy. There is only wholeness. There is only production, producing, progression, growth, expansion. There is nothing about us that contracts or that shrivels or that withers or that hides. That's where these fears come in, that sometimes when I channel, the words that come in may label it as evil or give it a name like Satan, but these are not beings as much as they are impediments to us experiencing the truth of our divine nature. So the only thing that could ever make us recoil or shrink or be fearful are lower vibrating thought forms, energies, and beliefs. These beliefs are false. The ones that are true are the ones that lead us towards the light, and we know that. So just come into alignment now with yourself. Take a nice deep breath. As a powerful being, an extremely powerful being, extremely loved as well, totally enamored. The word beloved comes up. Not only as we are beloved, but as we beloved Source Creator, the Architect, the One, the All, whatever you want to call it, that really is the source of our life and our awareness, our consciousness. This is who we are. We're connected. There's no way any of us will ever be left behind alone. There is no way that's possible. We are one. We are supported and loved at all times. Take another breath. Okay, let's call in the angels. We're going to start with Michael, as we always do. We're going to take a deep breath and we're going to call Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. We're going to blow all the air out of our lungs. And when we breathe in, we're going to breathe in Archangel Michael's energy. So let's do that now. Take a nice deep breath. Archangel Michael, we call upon you now. Michael, please surround us with your beautiful blue cloak of protection. Let only good positive energy come to us. Archangel Michael, surround us and fill us with your blue energetic light now. Please take hold of all of the things that have been impediments to our reaching our light, our seeing our light, our experiencing and feeling our light. Take hold of them now and grasp them in your strong hands. Cut cords to things we no longer need that don't serve us anymore. Sever the cords that have connected us to lower vibrating forms now. Use your mighty sword to sever any connections we have at this time to anything that does not serve our highest good and purpose. Breathe in. Michael says, as you wander through this path that you're taking now, I want you to see the world as a lighted path. I want you to see it as you would see any other path that has been cut through the woods for you to follow, like a trail that has been blazed. You are not wandering alone in a dark forest. There have been others who have come before you, who have blazed that trail, who have laid down the tracks that you follow now. Your goal, your purpose, your mission is to follow it as far as you can, to continue the work of those who have come before you, consciously in evolutionary terms, bringing humanity back into alignment with its true divine nature and with its human part also, reconciling past ills, bringing the body back into alignment with nature, with the goddess of nature, Mother Earth herself, Lady Gaia, how she breathes and moves and provides for you. Know that she gives you everything that you need to survive and thrive. You have only gotten in your ways in recent years. It is important for you to see that there is an evolutionary process in place today that will allow you to return to a life of simple living, one that is filled with joy, one that is filled with laughter, one that has great creative potential and provides source fulfillment for all of your desires. Allow me now to work with your bodies to release lower vibrating energies, that I might fill you with my light, courage, truth, and fearsomeness. I want you to breathe in and I want you to chant with me. It's the sound awe, awe, like saying awe, A-W. Take a deep breath. That's it. Beautiful. All right. So I see Michael basically working with each person almost as if he's there to clear space for you, as you would clear weeds out of a flower garden so that you can see the flowers better and appreciate them. You know, you need to really get in and around them. You need to get in and down around the roots. You need to not only get in between these plants, but you need to get around the roots where the root of the plant is looking and seeking for substance, but sometimes the weeds get in there and tangle in with there. So Michael's actually working to kind of pull roots away from the divine parts of us, the ones that are choking out our ability to actually manifest our desires and dreams or activate our divine purpose here on this earth, in this earth life. So I see Michael as a great gardener right now, working to kind of remove debris, do some clearing, remove and dig out any roots that have been stuck in us for far too long. The purpose of cutting the cords also, he's saying, is to remove that growth that shrouds out, that covers up what needs light, what needs to grow. And so sometimes, even though you cut a cord, there's a root of it. So that's why he's saying, I'm going deeper tonight. If you'll let me go deeper to pull out some of the debris that surrounds you. And this could be something simple like just a belief that you've held for a long time that you refuse to give up on, or something that you've held to be true, or one way of thinking, or rigidness and inflexibility. He's asking permission to go in and just kind of continue to do a little bit more surgical removal of those lower vibrating aspects. So let's let Michael just do that. Good, good, good. Okay, good. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Michael. All right, now we're going to call in Archangel Gabriel. Just checking to make sure we're still good. Okay. All right, everybody, we're going to take a nice deep breath. We're going to call Archangel Gabriel. I call upon you now. Breathe all the air out of our lungs. And when we breathe in, we're going to be breathing in Archangel Gabriel's white light energy. And let's do that now. Deep breath in. Archangel Gabriel, we call upon you now. Breathe in Archangel Gabriel's brilliant diamond white light energy. Archangel Gabriel, we call upon you now. Please surround and fill us with your brilliant diamond white light for purification, communication, connection. Archangel Gabriel, please allow each and every one of us to be a pure, clear channel of divine light, love, and energy. Please again remove from us anything that does not belong to us, restore to us anything that we may have left anywhere, restore us to a state of wholeness. Gabriel wants to say this part to you now. Look at yourselves as if you are looking in a mirror and see the reflection before you. Do you notice what's different about you today? Maybe compared to 7 or 8 months ago. How are you different? How has the experience of the last 8 months changed you? What do you recognize and what is new to you? What is unrecognizable? Tonight, we are working with you to help you recognize what is true about you and what is no longer true about you, what is empowering and what is disempowering, so that you might discern the difference between these two aspects and allow yourself to say goodbye gracefully to those parts of you that no longer are needed or that are no longer useful to you. Notice that as you climb this ladder higher and higher and higher, there is clarity, there is more to see, there is a higher perspective. And as you climb the ladder higher and higher and higher, Your spiritual perspective expands to include everyone else. You begin to see more about yourself and see yourself reflected in others. You understand and can become more compassionate. The heart begins to open and shine like a great star in the sky and invite others to look upon it for wisdom, for teaching, for guidance. You become your own star, and by becoming your own star, you attract and bring others into that light. You share that light. It becomes part of your world. You become part of their world. You become one, like a beacon in the night, guiding those who need the light. You practice your own powerful empowerment practices to bring yourself up to this level so that you might share it. It is not for you alone to take yourself on an incredible journey, but for you to make yourself available to everyone along the way so that you may all rise to a new level. We communicate with you tonight here in your hearts and also in your minds, opening up and awakening in the third eye. Please do this now with me as I wish to work on your third eye. Please take your fingertips and place them on your forehead, thus, and wipe open the space on your forehead. Take a deep breath in. Now, for those of you who want to do this more, go ahead and do a few more swipes, opening up your third eye using your fingers and just bringing them together, fingertips right at the middle of your forehead, and then opening that up. Open that space. Open that space. Open that space. There you go. That's beautiful. Okay, Archangel Gabriel. Wait, hold on. Go ahead. And we see each other now. Do you see me? I see you. So he's saying we see each other now. He's basically saying like we need to clear away some it almost feels like curtains or a veil or some other obstruction in the third eye to allow the clarity to come in that they need us to have tonight to understand the teachings and to receive the attunement. So he's wanting you to kind of allow an openness to your third eye and even to your crown also. The third eye and the crown almost in this feeling are kind of connected, allowing the whole part, the top part of your head and the third eye and the crown to begin to open, almost like a great big observatory, ready to like see the stars. So it's opening up to receive all of the universe, the light of the universe, the light from distant stars. They're not just stars, they're beings. They want to communicate with you. They use this as their method. So there are star people and others in other places outside of our own galaxy that again are wanting to communicate. So Gabriel is trying to help facilitate that by opening up our third eye and our crown for our celestial friends to aid and assist us. Now you may say, why he's putting his hand like almost over the mouth, because it's about listening right now. It's about listening and receiving, and not so much about speaking. He wants us to be more aware of what we're receiving, especially even in the next month or two. Notice what you're receiving, what you're hearing. Do not crowd out what is coming in by talking too much. He's saying sometimes we talk too much. When we speak too much, we are crowding out the ability to receive. So if you feel that you're constantly having to write or communicate or talk, it might be a good time to actually take a break from that and do more of this deeper listening where you're opening yourself up to receive. So Gabriel's asking us to do that now, to just be receptive and open and allowing for information to come in, because there will be time in the future when you will relay information or you will be, again, actively speaking and teaching. Right now, it's a time of listening and receiving. Okay, thank you, Gabriel. Okay, let me get a quick drink. All right, now we're going to call in Archangel Raphael. Okay, so we're going to go, again, we're going to call Archangel Raphael. I call upon you now. Blow all the air out of your lungs and breathe in Archangel Raphael's emerald green light. Let's do that now. Deep breath. Archangel Raphael, I call upon you now. Breathe in, Archangel Raphael's emerald green, healing, love, light energy. Archangel Raphael, we call upon you now. Please surround and fill us with your emerald green, healing, love, light energy, Raphael. Flowing through the body now. I see him coming in. He's coming in at the throat chakra, actually. He's blasting like this emerald green light right at the throat. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No need to apologize. I want to simply point out that the throat right now is very active. For even though our friend Gabriel has said to be quiet, the throat is where we also receive. It is not just a place to communicate or spread the word, but also to receive insights and information. Through your throat chakra, you receive divine truths. Through wisdom, downloads, and information that comes to you from the written word, the spoken word, what you're listening to sometimes often does come through the throat chakra. So leave that open and leave it to me now to clear and balance your throat chakra, that it might be receptive and open to receiving information that will become helpful and useful to you. You will find the right words to speak, and they will come from this place of love and healing. I'm asking you now to use your voice to heal, to say prayers, and to offer up our words that will assist others in coming through this very difficult time. There is so much trouble now in the bodies that I'm experiencing here on earth, and feeling the anxiousness and the tension that is building along the lines that run from our world to yours. There are many prayers being said for those who are being afflicted and those who also wish to offer their services, but who cannot because of restrictions. So those of you who are healers now, who are feeling stunted or in other ways unable to perform your duties as healers, know that you are healing people now. As you heal yourself, you heal others. And as you hold thoughts in your mind and speak prayers up to the heavens, you are doing the healing work, no different than if you were to lay your hands upon another and open yourself as a channel for healing light and energy. I understand and feel your frustration and know that it is important for you to do this work. So know that I walk alongside of you now and allow you and work with you to provide opportunities for you to do your healing work in a new way. Let yourselves be open to a new way to be a healer in this world and to walk with a light step and a happy heart. Okay, take a nice deep breath and put your hands over your heart right now, because I feel like Raphael's needing to do some work on our hearts. Healing hearts are heavy now. I just want to hold you for a moment in my own embrace. All right. He's talking specifically to teachers and healers and those who have used their hands to heal, those who are doctors, nurses, but also Reiki energy healers, others who do healing work in whatever form. Those of us who have become attuned to various healing modalities, we're feeling it. We're feeling the need to practice and to do this work. So he says, feel free to do it, even though you might not be with a client or a person. Feel free to do it long distance. Feel free to make up your own new rules, new ways to process this emotional healing for others. Allow yourself to energetically connect on whatever level is appropriate for you. Know that as you do this, I will hold your heart and support you in the work that you do. Oh, there you go. And again, he's just very gently holding the heart now, each of our hearts, placing his hands like behind and above it, almost like you would do on someone's back and their chest. He's inside the body, holding the heart. Not only the physical, but the cosmic heart, right? And sending healing light into it. There you go. Now see, I'm seeing like almost like a rainbow light coming into play here and flooding through the body. That's it. Be reborn again as a healer. Allow your healing gifts to flow. Don't feel stunted or in any way impeded from doing your healing work. Just because there's a pandemic and you have to be quarantined doesn't mean you can't do healing. You can still do healing, is what he's saying now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Raphael. Oh, thank you. Okay, great. Oh, awesome. And you can, again, take that energy, push it over your head, push it through your third eye, push it over your body. Beautiful healing energy. Let it just run through you. That's it. Good, 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 good. Okay, excellent. Okay, now we're going to call in Archangel Uriel. So again, we're going to take a nice deep breath. We're going to call Archangel Uriel. I call upon you now. Blow all the air out of your lungs. And when you breathe in, we're going to breathe in Archangel Uriel's golden light. Let's do that now. Okay, take a nice deep breath. Archangel Uriel, we call upon you now. Breathe in, Archangel Uriel's golden light. Archangel Uriel, we call upon you now. Please surround and fill us with your golden light for wisdom, information, knowledge, understanding, and compassion. Light the fire of God within you and keep it burning brightly. It's time now to draw those blinds and bring yourself back inside again, to shelter in place, to see yourself warming yourself by your own brilliant light and fire. This is a good time for you to come inside, to use healing work on yourselves as well, to take time for yourselves, to saturate yourself in golden healing light now. Breathe in and let it flames warm you from the inside out. Okay, so he's starting like a big, nice, like fire. It's almost like I feel it like solar plexus, but below that, like almost down in the sacral area. Breathe in, put your hand down there on your sacral chakra. Okay, Uriel. Yeah, okay. All right, so he's throwing more wood on that fire. He's bringing it up higher. He's bringing it up higher. You might want to think of it as Kundalini energy, right? The rising serpent of light. Notice that you are connected body and soul to this planet as a human being, and that you have the right to establish yourself as a physical form. Fire's transformative power and energy, and the element itself is so transformationally powerful that I draw it into your bodies now and settled it here in your emotional center, where relationships come and go, where you feel the tug and pull, the sadness and the happiness, all of the ups and downs, the roller coaster that life lives in through for you, the words you say and speak to each other, and the way that you feel when you're embraced and held by someone who loves you. Know that all of this centered here in this fire now reaches up high through the body and towers above you like a column of fire reaching up and through the body, out and over you. Let your column of fire run higher and higher and reach it up through the heavens now. Breathe in. Use this fire to purge away any last remnants. Any last remnants. Any last remnants. He's actually continuing the work that Michael's doing. I feel him now. He's almost like doing cleanup of the debris that Michael's pulling. It's almost like, again, when you guard and you create a pile of debris and you got to do something with it, it almost feels like Uriel has come along and lit this huge fire to just kind of burn it all up, like to singe it away, to create a brand new space for thought, energy, form, light, emotion, love, peace, power to settle into, to get a grip, to have a clean space to work from. The fire now goes down. Breathe in. Okay, now let that fire go down. It's going down through the root chakra, down through the ground, and like now it's grounding into the dirt. And the dirt is almost supporting the base of the fire. So the earth herself is creating almost like a fire bowl, the receptacle, if you will, to collect the ashes of all of the things that we don't want anymore in our experience, that we don't need anymore. We don't want any more arguments. We don't want or need any more extraneous drama. We don't want or need any more disagreements that lead to fights or anger or violence. We don't want or need any more of this misunderstanding. We need value and love and desire to live free from those distractions. And we desire now and intend to connect with our truth so that we may be fulfilled in our knowledge and wisdom and in our lives here, in the works that we do and in the people that we serve. Know that all is possible in this realm and that you have the power to transform it here and now. Take my fire and use it however you wish, in whatever setting, in whatever place, with whichever situation you find yourselves. Use my fire now to burn away that which is no longer important or needed, or that causes you strife or anxiety. Use it now. Use it to transform with my blessings. Okay. Okay, so he's basically lit this fire and it's going within us. And again, as Uriel exclaims all of this, I can feel it almost like a powerful surge of energy, again, running through all systems to purge away anything that is waste product, to leave us with a clean slate so that we can simply appreciate what is left, which is only the true, only the beautiful, only the good. So it's purging away the pain, the suffering, the anxiety, judgments, fears, doubts, all of it, and bringing us back to this place where we can clearly see what is good and what is being kept is good. What is being preserved is fruitful. What is left and what remains is productive. What remains is what is desired. Anything that is not desired is gone, removed, and the debris removed, gone. It's dissolved, gone, burned up. Mother Earth herself takes in all of this waste, recycles it, and uses it to birth new life again. So you don't have to feel as though you've lost anything. In fact, you can feel good about what you're doing. It's almost like when you clean house and you give items to another and they take it in and they're happy to receive it and you're happy to be rid of it. This transference of energy from one place to another is happening now, and things are in movement, constant movement. So let this process continue to flow through as we have our time here tonight. So take another nice deep breath. We call in and invoke the power and energy of all the angels and archangels, ascended masters, beings of a high vibration, our higher selves, our body's higher selves, our spiritual support teams, our ancestors, our animal spirit guides, our elemental friends, gathering now around us in the safe and sacred space, allowing us to be ourselves, to learn, grow, and connect and prosper. In gratitude and love, we thank you. Okay, let's just take a minute now to connect with each other. Let me come back to you guys. Okay, unmute. Let's talk. How's everybody doing? If you'd like to say anything, contribute anything, talk about what you just experienced, please unmute yourself and just speak. What are we feeling? Blown away? Energy's pretty high here tonight. It's pretty high. I want to share something with you. Now, I do have the message that came out tonight, so I'm going to read that to you. And again, this is interactive. So if anybody does want to say anything or contribute anything at any time, just feel free to unmute yourself and say what you want to say. You don't need to raise your hand or anything like that. Let me admit, May is coming in. Hi, May. She got in a little bit late, but she's here. Okay, so let me share with you the message that the angels gave me tonight. Again, I always channel like the day before or the day of. This was done on yesterday, the 18th. I said, "Dear angels, what do you wish to do with our class this month?" And they said, "Hallelujah. On high there is rejoicing. The words that come to you now are coming from the area above that is concerned with overwhelm, anxiousness, and openness." Now, some of this is kind of, sometimes it gets a little deep, and that's where the channeling helps to kind of explain it all, but this is what they said. "Let it be known that to the right are the ways of man, and to the left are the ways of the spiritual ones. Those who come together with your human half to corrupt and influence have had their way. In recent months, there is a quickening of the exchange of light over darkness, and there is much more to become apparent in the days and weeks ahead. But know this, there is a quickening of the turnover, the change from one way of being into another. They used the word quickening a couple of times, and it almost felt as though there's an acceleration now of movement, again, from darkness to light, if we can put it that way, as simply as we can. As the world turns and spins, it is attracting to it new outcomes, new experiences, new waves of bitterness and strife to be policed and shut down. The way that you accomplish this massive undertaking is to limit the amount of bread you eat. What do we mean to limit the amount of bread we eat? Simply put, there is overload now on information and messaging. There is a quickening of the pulse of America and the world, a hearkening back and a projection forward of all the fears and insecurities that have plagued humanity for far too long. This will come to a head in the weeks ahead as you grapple with the turnover of leadership, the transient being made to take root, and the ones who are co-opting the democratic principles to become aware of their power and the reign of terror coming to an end. The power that resides within each person is rising, and there is a quickening of this resolve to use that power for good and to force the issues to a head. You have seen in many debates the stone walls that have been constructed around each argument, how one and all are divided into their camps and ideologies that are inflexible are beginning to show signs of stress and breakage. It is with this new energy that we find the resolve to allow the crumbling of those walls and to once again emerge vulnerable and yet so authentic that we have become powerful to each other and for each other, to sing each other's songs and to hold each other accountable. For the massive injustices the world over are now coming into being, and there is no reason to suspect that anything other than full realization is needed now. So when this came through, I was like, whoa, what is going on? um, it's let me let them explain this. So there's a process going. Oh, I'm
That's the
sorry.
meeting.
Hi, May.
No,
I'm
you're
gonna-
not muted.
I'm going to mute you. Okay.
Hi,
Hey, how's it going?
how are you? I just got back from work.
Okay, no problem. I'm just going to mute you if you don't mind for a sec. Okay. So there's a process going on by which all of the injustices that we've all seen throughout human history are sort of boiling up. Now you might say, well, this has been going on for thousands of years, right? Human civilization has been overrun with civilizations coming and going, with the powerful over the weak. This has been a pattern that's recurred throughout human history. So what is different about today than, say, during the Roman Empire or during the Han Dynasty or during any of these other periods of human existence where people have had conflict, right? This is something that's different and new because there's a rising tide of a remembering of the simplicity of the life of a human. And if you can think of like perhaps Aboriginal people or First Peoples, individuals who lived in harmony with nature, who rose with the sun and went to bed at night at the same time, like this kind of almost like a symbiotic relationship with nature, living in nature, being part of nature, going along with the rhythms and cycles of nature. Humanity has completely disconnected and lost touch with that aspect of living, and that is the aspect that gives us the most joy. It actually allows us to flourish and grow as we should, right? So with technological advances and with everything that humanity and civilization has accomplished, we have somehow managed to distance ourselves so far from these basic things that give us all joy. The pandemic and this shifting change in everything from the government to systems all over the world, all of it is coming into being now because this is it's a stop of the action. It's a timeout. in order for the evolutionary process to catch back up with us again. So for whatever that verbiage was that came through, the message is that there is both a looking back and a looking forward, but from a new perspective, one that really does wish to reestablish some kind of a connection to the mother, some type of a connection to the divine feminine, some type of a release of the burden of toxic masculinity, allowing us to simply shrug off all of that pain. Like, you know, like it's literally taking a toll on the entire planet, and thus, as goes the whole planet, goes the solar system and our galaxy. We are in many ways like a harbinger. So while we struggle and suffer and the earth is always going to be okay, but there's a desire for humans to become reattuned to their natural way of being, and also at the same time attuned to their divinity, so that this harmonization, like this heaven on earth kind of a thing, can emerge. So this is where we are right now. We're actually moving very quickly through something that's going to shift us in a way that we will understand what this means, but each one of us has a really critical part to play. So I said, angels, what does this mean? Do you have a teaching or attunement for us this evening? And they said, practice power, powerful, power hungry, power. What powers you? Is it your imagination, your passion, your ambition, your drive? Is it your hunger for righteousness or a desire to see freedom across the world lead to happiness and joy? We know, based on following you for your entire existence on this planet, that there have been times in human history when there were societies that lived in peace. We know this is possible, as we have seen and observed many cultures and traditions survive for thousands of years intact, with traditions passing from generation to generation. Your generation, however, is bending toward reconstruction. This is what we call the reconstruction of society in such a way as to cause all people everywhere to realize their own innate power and to embrace it with trust and faith. To know that we have come to you today to share with you an attunement of power for the purpose of anchoring and establishing light on the planet is to know that there is a reawakening, a reimagining, and a realignment with those principles that created stable and peaceful societies within human communities, and which can once again be made to inhabit this earth. So there's a desire rising to reconnect with what is normal, what is natural human life, right? There's a desire to get back to this. It's been way off on a tangent for a very long time. Those who are of a like mind, who see the world as a living, breathing organism with a right to its own life, and that it has but a limited supply of resources, and knowing where to look for the unlimited, and making that the focus, is the reason we are so excited for you today. For while there is a longer road ahead in this birthing process, there is definitely a reason to be thankful. For today is dawning a new awareness. Yes, even in the face of these challenges that the universe has laid on your doorstep, there is peace in the offing. There is culture and trust. There is humanity at its best, rearing its head above the fog and liking, loving what is to come, and seeing evidence of it in the days ahead is what will give you all hope. Knowing that there is a way to solve all of the problems of humanity when there is a joining of the forces of nature with the forces of man, a reckoning of the injustice and the ignorance that has led you so far astray, and a desire to return yet again to the simple pleasures of life as a human being on planet Earth. For it is a noble existence to live in harmony with nature and to see the fruits of your labors and to sing and create and become one with each other and the world and all that exists in every dimension of reality. There are layers upon layers of individuals and groups wanting to participate tonight. So without further delay, let us introduce you to the main ones for tonight's attunement. Okay, so here's where they get into it. This is what came in next, and you may all recognize this, right? God so loved the world that he gave his only son. Now, don't get all panicky that this is religion, but there's a passage from the Bible, John 3:16, that says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life." Here's what they said about this. One and only, that's what you are, the one and only you. And in your heart of hearts, you know that you are loved beyond comprehension. You know, or you must know by now, that there isn't anything about you that is an accident, that you are as you are because of divine planning and an orderly rollout from the universe's perspective. You have become what you are meant to become, and you are in control as much as anyone is of the theories that dominate your mind and your life. When you choose to become one with God, or in his infinite wisdom, the one and only begotten son/daughter of the Most High, you are claiming your divine birthright and establishing here on earth the realm of the serpent, they said. The Most High and the wisdom of the Most High rises like the serpent from the ashes of the earth into life. This again reminded me again of this feeling of the Kundalini rising. It's almost like the divine within rising up to conscious awareness of itself. Life abounding in all forms. This place, earth, earthly life, is to be celebrated, for within it is all the mystery and drama, the beauty and majesty you could ever behold. You see it all around you, and yet sometimes you are just indifferent to it. Our rising tide of energy for you tonight is in raising your consciousness to the level of the ascended masters and giving you a glimpse into the treaties that formed the earth in the first place. There are agreements made and kept between those who would destroy this experiment and those who would encourage it to continue to flourish and grow. So again, now they're referencing agreements, an experiment. This points towards an even higher or deeper understanding of who we are and why we're here in the first place, right? Why even bother put human beings on this planet? It is a grand experiment, and there are forces that are both for it and against it. So there's this constant struggle, and we feel it every day, even in our own selves, when we get down and depressed or when we're happy and joyful. The duality, the nature of good and evil, this whole thing is kind of culminating into one understanding. When you, oh, here you go, hold on. You have become wisdom, brother, please. You see it all around you, our rising tide. There are agreements, right? Albeit without the negative influences that Satan and others place upon the weak of the earth. So there are agreements made and kept between those who would destroy this experiment and those who would encourage it to continue to flow and grow and flourish and grow, albeit without the negative influences that Satan and the others place upon the weak of this earth. So there's a reason that we are working towards an evolutionary shift. It's to come back into alignment with our power. And it doesn't mean, again, that there's like this negative force out there trying to destroy everything. But what it means is there is duality in this planet. And there's dual nature. We see it all the time. We see good and evil. We see just see it in every single dimension of our lives here. So when we choose to empower ourselves, we're choosing to move in a new direction, one that gives us more power. Know that as you traverse this planet, you are walking as a god among the beings here. And yet you must understand the presence of the divine within all things, within all beings, within everything. And knowing this, you must reclaim your divine self amidst this beauty and majesty and mystery, and be humbled by it. For without your knowledge, without your conscious knowledge of your divinity, you are merely fumbling in the dark, one of the masses of the unconscious. So again, they reference us as these beings who are powerful, but when you're unaware of it, it is like you're fumbling in the dark. But awakened, you are the only begotten, the one and only you that can be here now, experiencing life through your own filters. And this is the last part. We are so proud of each of you for being who you are and for embracing the challenges and hardships that you have endured. You know full well that to become awake and aware means that you denounce Satan. Now, they use Satan a lot in here, and I don't like that word. But when it comes in, I write it down. So, and this is what they said, meaning you denounce that which is incongruent with abundance, love, and life itself. So they use the term Satan to encapsulate that which is not like is incongruent with abundance, love, and life itself. So anything that is not true and real, they label with that word. You give in to fear and hatred when you forget. When you remember, you are powerful, divine, and bullish on charm, enough to make the rest of the world see, recognize, and know your true self. You become bold and daring, able to complete your life mission without fear or doubt. And there is becoming now and here among you a new world. Transformation. Be willing to let go of everything that is no longer relevant in your life. Let go of situations and people who do not bring you that feeling of purpose. And let yourself be filled with the desire to fill your days with wonder, amazement, learning, service, and kindness. Exercise your power to exert kindness on everything and everyone. Let there not be a day go by that you do not celebrate the beauty that is inherent in your life and this world. And let others know as well by the good deeds that you do, by the generosity and caring you show, that you are indeed awake and aware. Fight the good fight to overcome ignorance and be brave in your own life to do what you can to embrace yourself, warts and all, and to love yourself in spite of your failures, and to know yourself as more than just a lump of flesh existing, but as a dynamic force for good. Be aware and awake now and light up the sky with your love. Be brave and show off your talents. Live life from the heart and let the rest of the world know who you are. So this is like, again, wow, like it's mind blowing. There's a powerful, really powerful, like a concept here that we have to get. And that is that we're not only here to just live our lives and get to know who we are and like live our dreams, but we're actually part of a grand plan that is something that started a long time ago and that has been moving in this direction for a very long time. So we're in that continuum of beings, high vibrating beings, ascended master beings that are bringing us along on this journey to a higher place. That was an awful lot of speaking and an awful lot of words. So does anybody have anything they want to share? Any thoughts they want to put out there? Yes, Erin, go ahead.
I would love to share. I always find every time I always connect with you, it's always like exactly in the right moment, and I always trust that. And like I feel like everything that you shared is totally aligned. Like for me, my whole process and journey like the last 8-9 months has been really well. The last time we spoke was you had said to me like your message was that I'm giving up security, safety, and stability, and that's what I've built my entire life on. And I can say that that is true this year. And for me, like my worth was always attached to doing, my worth was always attached to how much money that I made. And like this year I've made like literally like pennies in comparison to what I've made in corporate. But it really brought like this beautiful like awareness that I am worthy just for being. And so these last like 3 months has all been about exactly what we said, going back to Mother Earth. Like I've been feeling such a draw to go within, to be still, to resist like my ego's urge to want to like do more programs or, engage. Like I've consciously like have been attracted to different programs, and I've said like, no, I'm just feeling the urge to go within. And then also connecting to the Gaia. I did like for the first time, I think right around Halloween, actually, like an offering to this huge tree in my backyard, which I've never like made any sort of offering to the earth. Like I just felt guided to do that. And
Wow.
Coming back, like you said, into the rhythms and the cycles of the moon and being connected to the moon phase and releasing, shame around my sensuality, which then impacts my creative ability. So I feel like everything you said was on point, and a lot of words you used, I had what recently like came through me for my work of what I empower people to do is literally these 3 words: remembering, reclaiming, and radiating all of who they were born to be. And like that's been my entire process and journey. And so like I resonate with, like you said, the need to be of service, but also struggling with like finding people to serve, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
but at the same time, like I feel fully supported on this path. Like I haven't ever been like frantically like I can't survive. I've always been
Right.
supported so far on this path. So,
Right.
yeah, it was just for me. I think tonight was just like reconfirmation that like sometimes it's like you question inside, like, is this where I'm supposed to be? And it's like, yes, this is where you're supposed to
Yeah.
be.
Exactly. I
Basically.
know what you mean. Yeah, it's almost like having to take a step back and just be, in the moment. Just like, okay. Like with me, even, I have the cleaning business and then I had Just Breathe and I've always got a lot of things going on, but not having to do the work of Just Breathe, I've realized how overstretched I was in the first place, and actually having time, like downtime, is a new concept for me because I always felt
Mhm.
unworthy of that. I always felt that that would be considered a waste of time or it's a laziness or I should be producing. I was always like, come on, like squeeze every drop
Yeah.
out of every second of every day. And you know what I mean? So it's like when the time opens and you realize some of those activities have been removed,
Mhm.
for me, it was a big, like almost a little bit uncomfortable. Like, what do I do with myself now that I have time? And you start to think, wow, this is unusual. I've never experienced this before, but I'm starting to acclimate and I'm realizing I was overdoing it before
Mhm.
and I wasn't allowing time in my day for just, you know, vegging out, like sometimes just giving your brain a break. Simple meditation, just sitting down and being still and quiet to me was almost like,
Right. Yeah. Permission to be. Permission to
yes,
be.
yeah. Well, I want to share something with you guys too. So after all that stuff came through and the message was really about power, empowerment, coming back into your power, using your power, recognizing where you are in this continuum, that you're part of a larger picture here. Um, I was guided again to this book, this uh, Alana Fairchild Crystal Mandala Oracle, right? And I shuffled, and the one that came out was Ascended Master Mary Magdalene, who we've done some work with Mary Magdalene. I know Shalini and I had set up, it was actually her prompting to set up that class we did back in the summer to connect with Mary Magdalene energy. But the message is divine alchemy. And it's just so freaky how tied in with this whole thing it is. So what I want to do is I want to put up on your screen a picture of the mandala. If I can find it, where is it? Oh, I don't see it anywhere. I
As
don't.
you're pulling it up, I just have to share around Mary Magdalene is that in April, I did like a rose kind of activation that I received. And the
Uh-huh.
offering that I did to the tree was leveraging the energy of Mary Magdalene. So I also feel like her energy, this whole, like, there's no coincidence that
Right.
she's here.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, really? That's so cool,
Mhm.
Aaron. That's so cool. So here's like the mandala from the picture, okay? And I give this to you just as a visual aid to kind of look into as again, and I don't want to make this all about me reading stuff to you, but I almost need to read this to you because I read it to you. I read it to myself um, after I had gotten this channeled message, and it just struck me as it's the exact message for tonight. It is exactly the message for tonight. So let me just read this to you. Divine alchemy, right? We bring you the blessing of divine alchemy. Divine alchemy is the art of transmutation, the application of spiritual consciousness to physical form, so profound that an entirely new form evolves. This is what they were talking about. They're talking about marrying the physical with the non physical so that something completely new emerges, right? It is irreversible change, irreversible change. It is the coal transformed into diamond, the, the lead of sleeping matter awakened into the radiant gold of consciousness. Successful alchemical transformation requires patience, courage, and a belief in the power of spirit above all else. the radical and permanent transformation affected by divine alchemy may seem miraculous to the outsider viewing the changed form, yet the alchemist knows that when spiritual consciousness meets physical matter, the world will never be the same again. We're in this moment. We are literally living in this divine alchemy moment. And Mary Magdalene's energy, no, okay, here she comes. Hold on. Mary Magdalene's energy is all about learning to change what was once known into something that is new, a fresh perspective. What it has once been called one thing is now disregarded. It is redefined. Maps are redrawn. Boundaries are erased and recreated. There is a new freshness to life because there is an opportunity to recreate. We come to you today to provide you with that energy, that attunement towards the courage you'll need to marry the physical with the divine and to create this new world that you're desiring. You're working towards it now, each one of you in your own way, through your own forms that you create. Know that we're working alongside of you to bring into fruition that which is of the highest ideals for humanity and the planet and for every sentient being on this planet that calls it home. Work with it and know it to be true. Okay. Okay, so let me see. There's another thing in here I want to share with you. Mary Magdalene's soul. The soul task, and they say soul, S-O-U-L, the soul task of divine alchemists, whether they think of themselves in those terms or not, is to repair the damage that fear-based consciousness has generated in the world. Repair the damage, okay? A divine alchemist may do this with a focus on environmental or socioeconomic issues, or through the arts, creative expression, healing work with the body, mind, and soul, or through cooking and educating others about nourishment. Alchemists may do their work on the greater human collective powerfully, but behind the scenes. This is what they were talking about. They may do this by bringing higher consciousness into their own being and then allowing that to permeate their work in the corporate, financial, legal, or political sectors, or in the worlds of marketing and media, where their elevated spiritual frequency is so very needed at this time. So it's like no matter what you do for a living, whatever work you do that interests you, when you bring that divine awareness into it, you're an alchemist. You're creating change. You're repairing the damage of fear-based consciousness. How else would you describe what we're living in right now other than fear-based consciousness? Literally, there's a pandemic raging. People are dying. There's the election stuff. I mean, it's literally crazy. There's people just spreading all kinds of misinformation. It's causing people to die. No matter what part of the political spectrum you stand on, if you look out there and you say to yourself, it's all fear-based, right? Even things like white supremacists, it's fear-based, fear of the unknown, fear of losing something, wanting to hold on to some ideal, fear of the other, fear of the different, right? Fear of change. We're living in a fear-based consciousness. This is what we're seeing. It's around us at all in every direction. So what we're being asked to do through this ascended master attunement energy here tonight is wake up, connect with your power, and remember that you are channeling through to this earth energy that's repairing the damage. We're doing damage repair, and we're also creating something new. This is why this is so mind-blowing, right? No matter what realm you enter, your soul has the ability to trigger alchemical change. Whether you are always conscious of it or not, your presence is helping to repair bodies, minds, hearts, and souls from the terror that has been conditioned into them over lifetimes. You are helping to heal the doubt, fear-based habits of self-destructive behavioral patterns that plague the human collective psyche. How appropriate is this? You are here to apply love, higher understanding, and wisdom to the world. In the applications of that higher consciousness, alchemy begins. And in time, genuine divine beauty rises up out of the sacred fires of transformation. What did Uriel do with us tonight? Sacred fire of transformation, all the way down here, all the way down at the root and right centered in our sacral chakra, centered in our connection to others, to our relationships, to our emotions, centered there. Sacred fires of transformation. The ugly duckling realizes it's a swan. I get goosebumps when I talk about this because, oh God, it's just so perfect for this moment. It's so perfect for this moment. Now, they do have a, it says to integrate this guidance, you may like to say this invocation now. So I guess I'll read this to you and we can all hear it and we'll apply it right now. So just take a second, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath. I want you to center your awareness right up in your third eye, in your consciousness, in your mind's eye, all the way up there. It's almost like you're looking up and out of the third eye. Put your awareness there. Now I want you to envision Mary Magdalene. Aside from her also is the Christ consciousness. So if you would like, you may also see Lord Jesus standing next to her. The two, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, like two halves of the yin yang symbol, presenting themselves here in your spiritual sight. Take a deep breath. Allow that masculine and feminine energy now to enter into your mind, repairing the damage done by extremes of either side. That's it. Now bring your awareness along with those two energies of Mary Magdalene and Lord Jesus, the Christ consciousness and the divine feminine down. You can almost see, I actually see it now becoming like a star in the center of the brain or the mind, like a brilliant star that's just beginning to radiate and shine. And now like flowing down through the body into the heart, opening the heart and shining there as well. Almost like dual stars. There's a star in the brain and the mind. There's a star in the heart. There you go. Okay. Now just hold that vision. I call upon the crystal angel of Aqua Aura Quartz and Ascended Master Mary Magdalene, who love me unconditionally. Thank you for the healing blessing of divine alchemy. May I be gifted with unassailable faith in the complete healing transformation possible with higher consciousness. May that which has become damaged be repaired. May the consciousness that has become diminished be revived into unconditional love. May all divine alchemists that serve unconditional love be empowered, supported, sustained, inspired, and motivated in their work until they manifest the divine potential seeking to be liberated through their service. Through divine will and my own free will, so be it. Now open your eyes and again, look at this mandala that sits before you. And the crystal that they have there is this Aqua Aura quartz crystal in the center. I don't happen to own an Aqua Aura crystal, but I would love to get one after seeing this. So if you have a crystal or anything that you like to hold to support you in your work, I would encourage you to hold it now in your hands. Place it wherever you need to place it. You can just hold it or you can place it somewhere on your body. And just gaze into the center of that mandala and begin to notice how it takes shape and form like a brilliant sun in the center, radiating out light and energy. Become attuned to the vibration of this frequency. Take a deep breath. Ah. Ooh. Mm. Relax. Breathe in. Close your eyes. Settle into your body once again. Use those words, divine alchemy, to define your work. Know that what you do in this world is divine alchemy. In whatever capacity you serve, in whatever way you walk through this world, you are serving as a divine alchemist right now and assisting in the transformation of our consciousness to a higher frequency, to an all inclusive, whole, peaceful, divine, loving consciousness. And that with the help of the angels who surround us at all times, we are given the support that we need to do this divine alchemical work. We have Michael always, always as an ally, no matter what is going on in your life right now. I would highly encourage you to please call Michael whenever you need anything, any kind of support at all. He's so accessible. He's so ready to serve, and he's so present. He is not afraid of anything. If anything, he is the one that you would call in when you're confused, when you're feeling afraid, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling like you don't know what decision to take. Call in Archangel Michael and ask him to gather up in his arms all those little weeds that are clouding your vision. Ask him to gather up all those little things that get in the way of you seeing clearly with your vision straight through to the answers that you seek, to the guidance that you're asking for. Ask him to gather up all those things that come in the night that scare you, that cause you to have second thoughts or to second guess yourself or to doubt your own choices and decisions. Let him gather those up in his arms like he's collecting a whole bunch of weeds and junk and getting ready to throw it right into Uriel's fire. Let Uriel light that fire again, keep it burning, and let Michael keep clearing and clearing and clearing. And once Michael has cleared and Uriel has burned, then you call Gabriel and you say, Gabriel, 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 flood down into me the inspired thoughts, the divine ideas. Flood down into me the information that I need right now to help me serve. And then you call Raphael in. And Raphael's there for more than anything, comfort. Raphael is there like the shoulder that you can cry on. Raphael is there like the really sensitive friend, the one who's ready and willing and able at all times to listen to you, to understand you, to listen with compassion, and to offer you that beautiful healing grace that only he can give. Let them bathe you in their light. Let Michael surround you with blue light, brilliant, deep indigo blue. And let Gabriel light you up with white light. And let Uriel surround you with gold. And let Raphael flood you with emerald. Let those lights come upon you now and let them radiate from you like a gorgeous aura, a crystalline aura that surrounds you. Breathe in. And now just take a minute now to offer into that circle of trust and light any needs, any requests, anything, any intentions, anything you need right now. Bring it into that center of that circle that you just created around yourself with these beautiful angels. You can think of your heart sometimes like an altar, like a big table, a big white alabaster table. And whatever it is you need, you just, write it on a piece of paper, put it on the table. If it's something that you need taken from you, load it up on that table. If it's something you have a question about, spread it out on that table. Ask for their guidance. Ask them to take a look at it for you. If you need healing, imagine yourself laying on that table and them working on you. If it's for somebody else, imagine them laying on the table and let them work on that person. If it's the whole country, just picture the entire country under the spotlight on that beautiful altar, that table that is within you. Let the whole country, let the whole world picture Earth right there now on top of that table in your heart, flooding it with angelic light and energy, letting anyone anywhere in the entire world who's suffering receive healing now, receive relief, receive love and compassion. And now they turn it back over to us. They turn it back to our hands. They show us our hands. The angels take our hands into their hands and they open them up, palms up, facing your hands, facing your face, letting you look at your own hands and know that your hands do great work, right? Your hands have the ability to deliver, to process, to caress, to touch, to heal. Whatever you lay your hands to, let the angels bless. And your mind, let your mind again, any thoughts you think, anything you write, anything you speak or say, let the angels work with you on it. Bring them into your life every single day with every task, with every action, with every thought, with every prayer. And let them guide, hold, love, direct, protect, surround, and provide for us. This is what they're for. This is their mission. And we ask God and all the angels and guides here tonight to bless all of our spiritual guides, our spiritual support teams, those on the other side who we loved and lost. We ask all the guides and angels to go to them now, to provide support to them who are in spirit, to help guide them and realign them with their own purposes and paths, to make clear to them their directions, to aid and assist them in finding their joy and peace now. Now bring your hands into prayer pose in front of your chest. And bow your head in gratitude and appreciation. And please join me in chanting Om. Take a nice deep breath. Namaste. My friends, I'm going to stop the screen share if I can figure out how to do it. There it is. Oh, my friends. Gosh, my heart is just filled with love and gratitude to each of you for being here tonight. Thank you for letting me be of service in this way. It's an honor. Is there anything anyone wants to share? Any questions? Anything I can answer for you?
I'm just going to share. I have to hop off to put Savannah to bed, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Erin. Have a
Sending you
beautiful
love.
night.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye. How are you guys doing? Lisa passed out. Lisa's too cozy in that blanket.
And just all the energy and just relaxed and listening. It's awesome.
Was it good?
Yeah.
That
Those angels. They're
message
great.
was beautiful. Really amazing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
God, I'm always so moved by what they say. And I think to myself, why don't I do this like every single day? Why am I not doing this every day. I mean, it feels so good when it's happening, but
Mhm.
I don't know. It's very special for me. I know that.
Mm,
And having you guys here with me tonight is just such a blessing. It's so great to see you guys, to
mm,
feel your energy and your love. I do really miss seeing everybody in person.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
When this is all over, we're going to have a big party. We are. We're going to meet.
That's
We're going to meet somewhere with music and singing and dancing and food.
Are you still practicing your harmonium?
Yes, yes, I
Oh,
am.
good.
Yeah, I'm trying to get like good
Oh,
so that when we emerge from this, I
oh.
can put it out there and we can all sing together. Maybe I should do that too. I'll just put something out. I mean, I don't know how it's going to sound on Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Be fun to try it though.
It would be fun,
Oh,
because even if I'm playing it and you're all muted, you can sing along at home,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because sometimes when we're all unmuted, it's all choppy and you can't hear good.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was taking my class with the Sheila and Brent, they were together and they each had their microphones. And so they were singing together and there was no problem with that. But all the students were muted. But it was cool because, you could, as she was singing, like I could harmonize with her. You know what I mean? Like you could sing along
Mm-hmm.
with them. So yeah, we should try that.
Yeah.
Be fun.
Yeah. The sound element, the vibration, when you do when you're chanting the syllable that you're doing, I think is adds a lot of power to what you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Thank
Yeah.
you. It does. And you know what I'm learning too is that this is one of the things they were teaching in this luminous voice class that I took is that the sound of the syllables is the prayer. Like the
Mhm.
pronunciation of Ganesha and the way you're supposed to say that, the way they've written it in Sanskrit, or in the with the sargam syllables, the way they have it, the little dot indicates your tongue is supposed to touch the roof of your mouth. So it slightly changes the sound of the word as it comes out.
Mhm.
But the more you do it, the more you feel different. It's really something. Yeah.
Mm.
I was actually surprised at how much I was learning from this class. I thought it was just going to be here's some songs, let's sing them, but it ended up being a whole lot of different modules. And the woman Sheila Bringy, let me stop the recording anyway.